Greetings everybody, coming to you from my 2012 Mercedes-Benz S350 Bluetec diesel 4Matic. So I haven't owned this for very long, but I have managed to put just about 500 miles on it since I've purchased it, and I wanted to give my first update after about 500 miles of ownership. So when I got the car, the keyless go door handle on the driver's side wasn't working. I haven't looked into that yet or pulled codes or anything, but since then the only thing that's popped up, and this is kind of a weird one, is I get the message that tail/brake lamp is out, or check it, or whatever. And when I went to go check it, I checked both the brake lamp and the tail lamp, and they looked fine. However, when I shut the car off, it has like a delay timer where it'll leave the lights on for like 30 seconds or something like that. And when I was looking at the back of the car during that time period, the light was flashing almost as if it was in turn signal mode on the right side. I was going to try to capture that for the camera, but LEDs and cameras don't seem to play nice together, so I don't think I'd be able to actually capture that. So that's something I am going to look into. I think it works well enough for me to pass my state inspection. They check lights and horn and all of that stuff. So for now, I'm just going to kind of put a pin in that one and see where that goes. If it fails completely, I'll have to do something about that. I don't know if that means replacing the whole housing or what, or if you can just replace the module or something like that. It's all LEDs, so it's not like the old school cars where you can just pop a new bulb in. Let's see, we're gonna go this way. So the other thing I noticed, okay, this car came with the full service history pretty much since new. There may be one or two repair orders missing, but I went back through that. I go through that several times, and then I dig deeper and I read very carefully everything that was on there. Okay, I cut that last one off because I sneezed at the end, and I want to cut that out. I do very little editing on my videos, but I don't think people want to hear me sneeze. So anyway, it was done at 88,000 miles, and that's when they did a bunch of servicing on this car. They changed all the fluids and whatever, and they also did the AEM emissions modification. So the thing I noticed was I read the part number for the oil that they used, and I Googled it, and it turns out they used 229.5 oil, which is not designed for a diesel engine. And fortunately, they only went 4,000 miles before changing the oil again late last year, and that one actually did have the correct spec of oil. So I've often wondered what would happen to a diesel engine, and especially the emissions components, if the wrong oil was used. Ooh, that was some deep water there. And so this will be kind of a first-hand experience with that. And when I first got the car, and I did my first acceleration run to get on the highway. I actually have that captured on video. Something just felt weird. I can't really explain it. And then since then it's cleared up. So I'm thinking that if the DPF was polluted at all, they replaced that as part of the AEM. So it has probably since then, I did smell the regen once. I think it has regen since I've owned it. So it may have, it may be fine. The non-diesel spec oil is not designed to handle a lot of the things that a diesel engine does. I actually did a whole video about all that and my thoughts on it. But like for example, soot, the oil gets soot, and the diesel oil is designed to carry that in suspension properly. And you know, the unique characteristics of the way a diesel engine runs with the higher compression and letting fuel into the oil and stuff like that, it may not happen necessarily with the gasoline engine. So yeah, I think due to the short amount of time, I think for the entire rest of the car's history, it did have the correct oil installed. So I don't think that's going to be an issue over a long period of time. So I think, yeah, you can get away with it for a little bit of time. But I think if you realize that the car has the wrong oil in it, you want to get it out of there as soon as possible. Now, since there was just only one oil change done since then, there's probably still a percentage, like maybe 10%. You know, you can't always get all of the oil out when you do the oil change. I may do another change at a bit of a shorter interval than I normally would do. Normally I would follow whatever the car tells me to do. Now this one did not get very much driving since the oil change was done. Well, now it kicked over to miles because I've been doing a lot higher miles than the last owner did. So it says it's due at 9,300. I would typically do the 10,000 mile oil changes. But it was saying like 200 and some days. So I think it's based on the type of driving you do, whether it gives you days or miles. I've gone more miles in the few days that I've owned this car than the prior owner went since like last December. So, you know, the car wasn't quite sure what to make of all that. Chevy is just creeping right by me. I'm just going to slow down and let them go. I'm not in a hurry or anything. They're going to probably slow down when they pass me anyway. People are just nutty when they're driving on the roads. Yeah, he like got up past me and then slowed down. Now they're speeding up. I don't know, people are just crazy. I think they just get into their own zone and they're not paying attention to what they're doing. And contrary to popular belief, even though this video is being made, I am paying 100% attention to the actual road and 0% attention to the camera. Well, anyway, those are my latest thoughts on this car. Again, it's going to be interesting to see how it holds up over time. I reviewed in another video the complete service and maintenance history on this car, and it has needed a few things, but you know, overall I think it's actually been very reliable, especially considering what it is. So it was nice seeing that all in one place, because it really shined a light on what the history of this car was. I'm always fascinated by the maintenance history of a car, what all has gone wrong, what repairs have been needed, how it's been serviced, and so forth. Oh yeah, there is one other thing that's wrong with this car, which I'm noticing really right now. I think it's also in part due to the 20-inch wheels, basically letting you feel every nuance. But I think I have at least one bent rim. So you can go to like the Mercedes dealer, and I think once a week they have somebody come in that will do the wheel repair and refinishing. So I may take this in for that, or I do have an extra set of wheels and tires that I could just throw on and take those up there and drop them off. I'll figure out how to do that. But yeah, it definitely feels a little bit of vibration and shake. You can actually see on the rim itself where it's actually dented. So I would like to get those straightened out, and they do the refinishing as a part of that. And usually it's 150 bucks a wheel, which I think is actually quite a bargain considering the price of replacement alloy wheels. Okay, well, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.